Hi Aries, welcome to May. Okay, so if you're an Aries that has, out of the kindness of your heart, been pushed around here and there, you're not dealing with that anymore. The tactics of anyone who would want to bully you, they just aren't working. And a lot of people may be confused. Maybe they don't know that Mars is home. That makes you your priority. That makes you a creator of your own opportunities right now. Your fire won't let anyone put it out. Usually anyone who's been bullying you for a while has an issue with your fire. But I don't know if you've ever seen it that way. I think you have a tendency to be very kind to people who you can tell are doing things out of weakness, even if the things they're doing are violent or aggressive or mean. It's almost like you can understand because their violence isn't coming from a real place. You know violence that comes from a real place. This is violence that comes from a fear of not having, not from a righteous anger of something being, right? It's out of lack. A lot of times when people try to push you, you not give in, but you talk it through. In May, you don't have anything to say. Like, okay. So it's the same old game, it's the same old tactics, it's the same old push, right? And I'm supposed to pull and push and pull. I don't want to do this anymore. But you're not saying this as you're saying it on fire. You're like, this is old, you're old, I don't want to do this, this is lame. And I think a lot of times you keep yourself from using words like that or letting people feel that way, You know that you're dynamic, you're on the edge, that everybody's following you. You don't usually feel the need to point it out, but the truth is just kind of pouring out of you. So May is very chaotic for the people around you, but it's actually quite nice for you. It's chaotic for them because perhaps you're more of a pillar in their worlds and you hold up a lot more than you think you do. You're traumatized so often by thinking that you're the center of something that you're not, that I don't think you realize that in a lot of cases you are. People just like to fuck with you and say that to you, but you are at the center of a lot. And for people where you've been holding up their way of being, their financial well-being, if you've been piecing them together and holding them together mentally, they're in for quite a shock, because having to sit with your own sadness, your own pain, and not have somebody truly empathetic feeling it with you, pouring their heart into you, and you have to deal with things by yourself, it is really chaotic. It's a painful switch. So, the usual criticisms will come with it. I can't believe you are going to leave me in this situation, is what comes across the deepest. And it doesn't even mean that you're actually leaving. It just means that you want time and energy to focus on yourself. Your focus has shifted. That's really all it is. It's not meant to be a betrayal. Now, speaking of focuses also shifting, they're shifting in many ways. So if we're talking about love, one of the ways that your focus may shift is that you're seeing love potential closer to home. Maybe there's somebody that you've been friends with for a long time, or that you've been around quite a lot, and you never really saw them as relationship material, but now you're kind of feeling it. You don't know if they're feeling it, but you're feeling it. So prepare yourself for some sudden crushes throughout May, but it makes sense, right? Because you're feeling yourself. So then it makes it easy for you to key into, am I repulsed? Am I attracted? Because you're at one with yourself right now. So part of being at one with yourself is that the people you're attracted to now, and this is why friendship is probably one of the means where you find someone like this, is that they have similar intentions, they have similar goals, they have similar life views, which is probably why you're friends. And it's nice to not have to translate things for them. They speak the same language as you. In some cases, they actually speak the same language as you. So, in some cases, the thing you bond over is trauma and not shared goals. But maybe it's because your goals have been shaped by similar trauma. So it's like a lovely bit of trauma bonding, not necessarily the way I'm making it sound. But you know, you're rushing at life in many, many ways, including your love life. You're rushing at everything right now. For those of you who are in an established couple, you're rushing towards finding a new way to be together and not trying to lose each other and bringing more fire into the relationship, talking through things. Like, you want to make the effort. So when people feel chaotically lost without you, when they feel like you've abandoned them, it's really untrue, because where you feel like there is potential, where you feel like you can step up and give a lot of energy, you're more than willing to do so. But they all have something intrinsically to do with you. It's all inherently tied to you. So anyone who's left out right now is someone who has either made a negative impact on your life and you no longer can have that in your life, or they don't figure into your life in any way. And I don't know which one is more harsh to them, but the fact remains, this is about you. So I think also when it comes to established couples, it's really healthy to just say what you need to say. Both of you, just get it out. Because I think Aries has the ability to handle someone just talking, because you guys are going to be doing a lot of talking as well. So if someone has some gripes and some qualms with you, let them say it. Let them get it all out, and don't be domineering, and don't hold them back, and don't make them feel like they're betraying you by telling you. You say it too. Say whatever it is. You know, there is a funk for a reason, and you both probably have very sane reasons for why it is. Just try not to blame each other, but hear the other person out and say what you need to say. Let people talk to you. Try not to direct the conversation with micro behavior. Try not to be domineering in the situation, because the more understanding you are, the more open you are, the easier it's going to be to get the truth out of people, which is ultimately all you want in May from people. It's like, you want to tell the truth and you want people to tell you the truth. And inviting a dialogue and encouraging someone to talk to you, it's okay if it starts off, you know, like this, as long as you mellow out and even out and are diplomatic about it. It's okay if it starts off passionate and I just want to get this off my chest and we should talk about this established relationship, situationship, whatever. But then you got to get to a point where you're actually listening to the other person. You're trying to balance these scales and you're being that diplomatic, really charming person that you can be if you want to. Again, only in situations where you feel that you're getting something out of it. Those are the only situations where you're even feel like sharing your feelings, or even like be prompted to share your feelings. Otherwise, it's just, you're not into it. You're not into it. If you, the Justice card is really interesting here. If you play like a Libra, people will end up telling you so much. So much. And I think it's like your secret dream for people to open up to you in a way that they just don't. They know better. They're afraid. But if you play that sweetness card and you're placid and, you know, you're calm, people will tell you a lot more, perhaps even a lot more than you want to know. Now, if you're single, you're on fire. If you're single, you want what you want. And I think for most of you, what you want is money. I don't think a lot of you are looking at relationships right now. I think that kind of let's work things out, let's get things to an even place, even within a relationship, has to ultimately do with money and stability. You just want to feel powerful and stable and strong, and you want to be a dependable person in your own life, right? For the people around you, but also for yourself. You have something in your mind and the energy that can flow easily to a couple and trying to work things out, and can flow easily to a damaged situation that you want to get out of. It can just as easily, if you're single and you don't have any of these hangups, it can just as easily flow into how do my relationships make me more money? What can I do? What do I need to do? Am I running from my trauma by doing this? Maybe, but the Queen of Wands is on fire. She doesn't really care. Like, it's better to cling to the pursuit of money than to cling to the wrong person. And it's possible right now, you know, so just readjust your priorities. If you are going crazy right now for wanting a partner, just needing somebody around, try replacing that with the pursuit of something that you really want to do. See what happens. Because if you start chasing somebody new right now, or if you start being interested in someone new, that will result in like emotional chasing. I think the thing that will get overridden is your gut, right? Because again, you're on fire. So your gut kind of takes a back seat to that Mars fire. And when you lose track of your instincts, things don't go well. So meeting somebody new, hanging out with somebody new, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Also, it's hard to not show off right now. It's hard not to spend more than you have. It's hard not to use money to decorate yourself in a way that you would like to be, like the way that you would want someone to think of you. So it's precarious, right, if there's somebody new involved, because they're not getting a look at the real you. They're getting a look at someone who's going through a Mars transit and is being very direct and very fast, but also there's a cunning and an intelligence here. Like, you want to wow people, and you want them to understand how smart you are, how strong you are, how straightforward you are, how like there is a mystery to your directness. People don't know why you say the things you say. People don't understand why the risks you take end up working out the way they do. But you want props for all this right now. You want people to see you, you know, for this kind of adventurous, really happy spirit that you are. And somehow in your mind, the connection can be made that spending money on this will get the point across. It won't. Don't do that. Venus, now this is for Aries rising, Venus is in your second house in Taurus until the 23rd. So you have such a beautiful vision of yourself. You see yourself so central and so like it's gorgeous, it's wonderful, but money is not the way to get there. It will drain you. And if anyone comes into your life right now that's kind of attracted to money or attracted to your money, it's like the wrong combination of things. So just keep an eye out for that. It can cause quite a lot of drama. I don't know. I always think it's a good idea to position yourself in a way where people can barely tell how much money you have or not. And I think it comes down to how we talk to people, how we talk to each other, how we express ourselves, the things that we say and don't say. If there's a way to use money to your advantage right now, I don't think it's romantically. I think if money is becoming any sort of an issue in romance, it's not for you right now. But using this fire, using this initiative, using Venus and the sun and Jupiter in that second house, talking now about career and money, there's so much potential to do something great, to have the energy to create or start something great. But that same energy can so easily turn on itself and just become exaggerated spending and exaggerated obsession, and the twining of the two, right? The intertwining of the two can lead to late May being a real reckoning and like, what was I spending money on and why did I do that? And this is not what I expected it to be. And you're also going to attract people that you don't want to attract. People that then perhaps you are left defenseless against later because now they've gotten through the Aries door, you know. Much like Scorpio, you have this kind of ironclad members only entry system to your friend groups, to your love life, everything. But once somebody is in, there's no constant checking in. It's like, okay, this person's in now. They can come in and out whenever they want. And May is one of those months where you're looking over that members only list and you're looking over it with a very fiery pen. You may notice that people have already started to reach out to you because they can kind of sense that they're going to get cut. And it's interesting because they know before you do. But you may be surprised who's on that list that you end up cutting. It could be people that are really close to you. It could be family members. It could be close work associates. It feels like being bound. It feels like you're roped up. And the only way out of this is to kind of burn everything away. And anyone who makes you feel right now like you can't have a voice, anyone who makes you feel like you standing up for yourself or you doing what's right for yourself is creating chaos for them. And why do you have to be like this? And, you know, shaming you for having fire and action and initiative. Those people right there should be at the top of your list to cut out. It doesn't mean that you have to cut them out forever. It doesn't mean that you emotionally close yourself off. It just means that in terms of your energy and what you take into account before you take action on something, they can't be a factor. Because them being a factor has probably kept you from taking initiative already for way too long. So that's what May really comes down to, is when you really, deep May, what it ends up becoming is a study of your initiative and what keeps you pushing and what slows you down and why does it slow you down and what's the intention. And do you want that in a partner, in a friendship, in a family, in a familial relationship, in a work environment? Once the car is full and it wants to go as fast as it can, that's when you start noticing if it can't go as fast as it should, where are the issues? So you haven't been able to rev this high in a while, and now you can hear the tinkering, in the engine. Let's see how many metaphors I can mix. Now you can tell exactly what's wrong. Where is the fuel injection fucking up? Where is the fire not getting, where it needs to go? Why is this thing or that thing not going as fast as it should? And once you kind of give your life this diagnostic, some people, they get left behind. Or they will feel left behind. Of course, you won't really leave them behind, not all the way. But what they want from you is more than what anyone should have to give. And you guys are known for that. It's like the secret truth about Aries is that if you ask them, they'll give you anything. But man, the people that figure it out really do milk it forever, huh? So now, of course, they're going to be like, but you have it to give. Why would you? Just because I got it to give doesn't mean I can keep giving it to you. You know, it only looks like I got it to give because I'm taking it from myself. That's why I don't have any initiative. That's why I don't have any drive. But now I have it and I feel it, and I feel you trying to take it from me. I have 4 more pages of notes. Like, I went ham on the notes for your reading. So we're doing career and money, mental health, advice for May, all of that coming up in the extended right now. That's available on Vimeo, on Patreon as a member, and as an extended, just a link that's sent to your email. That's below. And you can also get a personal reading at the link below. Love you. Good job surviving your season. You guys did great.